Hi, this is Faith, and you are watching The Faith Factor. Holla.
Got a bag? Nothing to do with that, bro. You feel me? Like, handle your candle, deal with your situation how you deal with it. Only thing I disagree with is you posting all these random white people and me and the bitch and trying to like distract from your thing. You feel me? Like, you gotta stand on it, kid. Like, if you beat the bitch up, shit, you beat the bitch up. Like, oh God, like you scared to like, yeah, like I get it. You on some R&B, you don't want to be seen as R&B, but oh God, you beat the Yaki, you gotta, hey, I beat my bitch up, man. I ain't finna come on here and be like, well, Chris Brown did it 16 years ago, and you guys let him still like perform at the BET Awards, and I'ma sound like a square guy. That's what I'ma sound like. My last opinion is, cuz you beat up the wrong bitch. Oh God, you got a bag? Nothing to do with that, bro.
All right. Good evening. This is Faith, and you are watching The Faith Factor. And we're going to get into some discussions today. I got Russell Wilson as my headline here. And we're going to delve a little bit deeper into his prayer before he met Ciara. See, we always want to talk about Ciara's prayer, and we begged Ciara, didn't we? We all asked her, "Oh, Ciara, what did you do to get the man that you got?" And she told you. She told you on several occasions. She shared her life with you. But when she said it, it fell on deaf ears. So today in this show, I'm gonna also speak briefly on the whole Blueface comment, but just briefly. But today in this show, we're gonna listen to Russell Wilson because see, for some reason, with Black women especially, women in general, when other women try to tell us what it is or try to tell us anything, we're just like blah 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 la 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 la. I don't hear you. I don't know what you're saying. I don't want to hear that. So I'm going to take the approach that I know works best with the majority of you. If a man says it, it's gold. You won't believe it until it comes out of a man's mouth. Hence the reason why you all flocked over to Kevin Samuels. Hence the reason why you all love you some Derek Jackson, even though it is apparent that he's a hypocrite, but he's a man, so you all listen to him. So maybe you all will listen to it from Russell Wilson. But before I get into it today, I do want to get into this whole Blueface, his little, I guess what they call it, response to Chris Brown. The clip I played earlier, and I'm going to play it one more time. 1 second.
Got a bag? Nothing to do with that, bro. You feel me? Like, handle your candle, deal with your situation how you deal with it. Only thing I disagree with is you posting all these random white people and me and the bitch and trying to like distract from your thing. You feel me? Like, you gotta stand on it, kid. Like, if you beat the bitch up, shit, you beat the bitch up. Like, oh God, like you scared to like, yeah, like I get it. You on some R&B, you don't want to be seen as R&B, but oh God, you beat the Yaki, you gotta, hey, I beat my bitch up, man. I ain't finna come on here and be like, well, Chris Brown did it 16 years ago, and you guys let him still like perform at the BET Awards, and I'ma sound like a square guy. That's what I'ma sound like. My last opinion is, cuz you beat up the wrong bitch. Oh God, you got a bag? Nothing to do with that, bro.
Now that's a goddamn fool. You beat up the wrong bitch. See, this is why I can't with some of the guys that y'all. I can't believe that men like this can even find a woman to spread her body open for him. I really can't. But yet here he is. And that person in the background giggling and laughing. It's probably Christian Rock. It's probably that dim-witted heifer. And I just don't understand for the life of me why. Why do y'all lower yourselves to men like this? Exactly. Yeah, BMT, it is deep. Real deep. Because basically what he's saying, and I'm gonna have an unpopular opinion with this as well. Because I don't necessarily disagree with the first half of what he said, by the way. Because I kind of think that Chris Rock was trying to deflect from his situation by bringing up the other men, which is a bitch punk ass move on his behalf because he did what he did in the story. But the mere fact that this motherfucker right here has the nerves and audacity to come in and give a clap back, and his clap back is ignorant. Basically, what he's saying is, and with Christian Rock once again giggling in the background, he's saying that there's certain women that you can get away with doing this to. Chris Rock, you beat up the wrong bitch. I beat up my bitch all the time and I don't go to jail. But you just beat up the wrong bitch. Leave my name out of it. And see, ladies, this is where I was trying to tell you that there is a better. Even these ignorant, low down, dirty scum of the earth Negroes know that there's a difference. They know. See, he's not going to take Claire Huxtable. He's not going to take a Michelle Obama and beat her up and drag her down the street. That's basically what this guy just said without saying it. But he'll take somebody like the chick that he's with, a Christian Rock, Dum Dum with the chip tooth that he knocked out, Dum Dum that put 2 tattoos of his face on her neck. Yeah, he'll drag and beat that up every day and twice on Sunday. That's what he's telling you. And look how submissive Christian Rock is, by the way. Look how dumb and uneducated she is, by the way. Take note of that. Look at all the check marks that Christian Rock checks off. And ask yourself, just ask yourself, would you even want to be bothered? Now, one thing I will say about the situation with Chris Brown, this whole thing with Chris Brown happened when he was in his teens. I don't know if he was 17, 18, or 19, but he was a teenager at the time. And that doesn't excuse what he did at all. But what I will say is, since then, there hasn't been any more allegations of Chris Rock getting in that same type of trouble. It was more than 18 years ago. So I will say that. So for people to keep bringing that up, and the man has clearly moved on. He's clearly, done things in his music career. He's clearly not, been in trouble, in the same type of trouble. Now, some people might pull up some instances where they felt like, he might have did something disrespectful. But at the end of the day, he didn't get arrested or, no other different, no, none of the same type of stuff occurred. Now, this Blueface guy, on the other hand, this is a grown ass man. There's a difference between someone in their teens making a mistake and a grown ass man doing it today. So this is why I have a problem with this particular clapback. Dude, you in worse position, in my opinion, than Chris Brown, because you're doing it right now. And you're sitting here bragging about how you beat up your girl. That's what I have the problem with. Chris Brown is saying he doesn't even think about doing that type of stuff anymore. He was young and he moved on. It was 18 years ago. You, on the other hand, you're talking in terms of current language. You're saying, I beat up my bitch, as of present tense. And I got a problem with that. And you're a grown ass man. You're well over 21. I don't know how old he is, but you're well over 21 saying this. You're not a teenager. Chris, I can't pronounce that name, Chris Sean or whatever. Her mom must have been high too. Chris Sean. What the hell is it? Whatever. I'm used to women having, feminine names, but I was a Chris Sean, whatever. Too many goddamn S's. Goddamn. Chris Sean. But at any rate, yeah, I have a problem with that whole entire situation altogether. And like I said, ladies, I have been trying to tell you guys, there is a distinction. Men even draw the line in the sand. If you carry yourself like Amber Rose or Chris Sean Rock, if you carry yourself like those type of ladies, then you're going to get the Chris Sean and Amber Rose treatment. This is what I've been trying to impart to you. But see, I'm just a woman. Today, we're going to let the men say it from their own mouths, because you don't believe it. You don't believe nothing when a woman who's experienced, who has some wisdom and some knowledge about these things, when we try to tell you these things, you don't want to listen. So now I don't tell you anymore. I don't have to tell you. I don't have to say a damn thing anymore. These men have got so bold that they're coming online and they're telling you this stuff to your face. But see, this is going to unveil something else that I have been knowing for a long time. And that is that you guys don't care. You don't care how mean these guys are. See, you guys have been hiding it for a long time, but it's starting to come to light. The more brazen these guys are, and the more we see the women that they're with, the truth begins to come to light. And that is that some of you don't care. As long as you can have that man, he can treat you like just anything. And you will, as long as you get to be in the house, as long as you get the title, as long as you get to be in his presence, you're going to be in the background like Chris Sean Rock was, giggling and laughing and just thankful for your position by his side. So not only are they being exposed, but some of you are being exposed too. It's no different than a married woman saying, oh, it's better to have any man than no man. And if my man cheats on me, I'm not ever going to leave him. He better cheat respectfully. It's no different. But see, the truth is starting to come straight to the light, not only about them, but about some of you too, and what you will accept. Y'all walk around here acting like, oh, I'm above all that. Oh, I wouldn't accept that type of treatment. But then when you pull the curtains back There's Christian Rock sitting right there next to Blueface as he's calling her all types of bitches and hoes and talking about how he beat up on her on a regular basis, and she's in the background giggling. So they're not just being exposed, but some of you are being exposed too. See, it works both ways with the expose because they can't do what they do without you, hon. They can't do what they do without you. Enabling. And that is not to say that these men have a right to be putting their hands on women, but that is to say that some of you are too damn desperate. And I said it in my previous video, and I will say it again. I am very concerned about the mental health of some of you Black women. Deeply concerned. Because it's starting to get real bad and it's starting to become real apparent that you guys are going from desperation to outright hysteria. And I don't even want to see the next step. I really don't. And so here, Blueface has drawn a line in the sand. He said, hey, you just beat up the wrong bitch. And don't think that I was going to gloss over that. Let's hear it again, just in case you all didn't get a chance to hear it the first time. Let's hear it one more time, and then we're going to move into the next segment.
Got a bag? Nothing to do with that, bro. I mean, like, handle your candle, deal with your situation how you deal with it. Only thing I disagree with is you posting all these random white people and me and the bitch and trying to like distract from your thing. You feel me? Like, you gotta stand on it, kid. Like, if you beat the bitch up, shit, you beat the bitch up. Like, oh God, like you scared to like, yeah, like I get it. You on some R&B, you don't want to be seen as R&B, but oh God, you beat the Yaki, you gotta, hey, I beat my bitch up, man. I ain't finna come on here and be like, well, Chris Brown did it 16 years ago, and you guys let him still like perform at the BET Awards, and I'ma sound like a square guy. That's what I'ma sound. My last opinion is, cuz you beat up the wrong bitch. Oh, yeah, you got a bag. Nothing to do with that, bro.
Boy, bye. Boy, bye. But this is what some of you put up with. But we're mad at Ciara because she's telling women to respect themselves, be independent, get your own bag so that you don't fall into this type of situation. Now, mind you, I understand that you're talking about you want a man like Russell Wilson, but let's just be honest here. Ciara was rich before she got with Russell, and you all cannot compare your situations and your lives to a woman who is a multimillionaire. You forget that Ciara had 2 platinum records under her belt before she met Russell Wilson. Ciara was already resting in her femininity before Russell came along. And she was already in an income bracket where she could be in a circle where she could meet a Russell Wilson. So your little lives be compared to Ciara's life, you can't compare the two. I wish that people would stop comparing themselves to these celebrities. I really do. Ciara was sitting up here with her legs up in her mansion, dusting off her 2 platinum albums and counting her millions in the bank before she met Russell Wilson. I want everybody to hear this and get this to your dickheads. Because what is really disappointing to me is that you all act as if Ciara was nothing before she met Russell. And I'm about to get into the nitty gritty of that because your boy Russell had a prayer. Your boy Russell talked about his prayer, by the way. He talked about the standards that he had for a woman. And guess what? It wasn't being with a weak woman who was not independent. That was not the first thing on his bucket list of who he was looking for. But, once again, I'm just a woman. And when women talk to other women, we don't listen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play a snippet of what Russell Wilson had to say on the matter, because we need to let this man speak for himself while you all are sitting up here dragging Ciara because she's pretty much in remembrance of her own journey. Because we know that she was an independent woman at one time. She was single at one time. In remembrance of her own journey, she's created a song for independent women, and she's being dragged for it because she's married to Russell. But let Russell tell you why he got with Ciara for himself out of his own mouth. And then maybe you all will be quiet. Let's roll that beautiful beating footage.
You didn't need me. You may have wanted me, but you didn't need me. You didn't need me. That was sexy to me. You didn't need me. You may have wanted me, but you didn't need me. You didn't need me. That was sexy to me.
Did you hear that? He said, you didn't need me, but you wanted me. You didn't need me, and that was sexy to me. Ooh. Some of you didn't want to hear that, though. You didn't want to hear that. Because, see, a lot of you are focused on the result, but you do not want to hear what it took to get to the result. Ciara tried to tell you. She tried to tell you that also in her prayer, she prayed to change herself. And she said she prayed many different types of prayers. And she worked on herself. Russell Wilson did not get the same Ciara that Future had. Ciara put a lot of work in cultivating herself before she could even be in the presence of a Russell Wilson. And there were things that she had to check off his bucket list in order for him to want to be bothered with her. And like I said, I will let this man speak for himself because I'm a mere woman talking to other women. You're not going to receive it from a woman, no matter how much you like her, no matter how much you want to be like her or don't want to be like her. You're not going to respect this information from another woman. I told you guys in the previous video, it was hateration. Because all you guys keep saying is, but Ciara, you're married. You get to go home to that. You get to go home to your husband. And all that was you all hating on this woman because of the work that she put in with herself to get a man like Russell. Like I said, you guys are focused on the result, but you care nothing about the journey. This is the reason why she said, this is for the ladies on a mission like me. You guys are not on a mission like her. And that's the reason why you're by yourselves, because you're not interested in the journey. You asked her all about her prayer. You asked her what she did to get with Russell. She told you, and you all hated her subliminally for years while living vicariously through her life. And the minute she jumped to the east or the west side and said anything nice to you or gave any type of affirmation to you about your current situation of being single, you were going to seek to tear her down because you're jealous of her. Tell the truth and shame the devil. So, to further my point, because see, that was a very, very brief snippet of what he said he wanted in a woman and why he married Ciara. We're going to replay that snippet. And then I have another snippet to play for you when he did the FaceTime interview with Lala Anthony. He said that again, that this was part of his criteria, that the woman be independent. But once again, don't believe me, believe Russell. So let's roll this beautiful beam footage. We're going to replay the first clip.
You didn't need me. You may have wanted me, but you didn't need me. You didn't need me.
Mm.
That was sexy to me.
Mm.
You didn't need me. You may have wanted me, but you didn't need me. You didn't need me.
Mm.
That was sexy to me.
The reality the reality is, hold on one second. The reality is that, sorry, I'm just texting her. The reality is that for me, for the 5 non-negotiables was more what I had to write down. I had to write down what those were. I had to have a clear vision of what that was. And so for my 5 non-negotiables, the first one is I wanted a woman of faith. That's the number one thing I wanted. I wanted,
and that was important to her.
I wanted a woman of faith. The second thing is I wanted a woman who was faithful. The third thing I wanted is ultimately I wanted an independent woman. Okay. I wanted a person that didn't have to be Ciara. They could be doing whatever, but they had their own identity. They had their own perspective on what they wanted to do in life and how they wanted to impact people. And that was something that I noticed from the first time we met and how she spoke about others. The fourth thing was I wanted a woman who was going to love me the way that my mom loved my dad when he was on his deathbed, you know, and how my mom took care of my dad no matter what the circumstances were, no matter how hard it got. You know, our family, you know, to be honest, we went bankrupt at one point and just, it was hard. It was heavy times. And you have to be able to, you know, my dad always knew that we were going to be good, you know, that we were going to be good. My brother, myself and my sister, that we were going to be okay because my mom was helping lead the way. And she had a great perspective. And the fifth thing was ultimately I wanted a woman who was going to tilt the room, right? When you walk in the room, you know, if she walks in the room, the whole furniture just slides to her.
Okay.
You know? And so those are 5 things my 5 non-negotiables were one woman of faithful. Second thing was one woman who's faithful. Third thing was one woman who was independent. Fourth thing was I wanted a woman who, who loved me the way that my mom loved my dad. And the fifth thing was, ultimately, is I wanted a woman who would tilt the room.
Tilt the room.
I wasn't going to settle for 3 out of the 5 or 4 out of the 5. We were going to go 5 for 5, and that was it.
And you got it.
And we got 5 for 5 plus some more.
You got it.
Yeah,
you
so
got it.
that was really what we were.
Are you crying?
Yes, I am. Sorry.
All right, so we just heard him say in 2 different occasions. The first occasion, he said, I got with you because you didn't need me, but you wanted me. And that was sexy to me. And then just in this instance, his 5 criteria, I think the second or third thing, the third thing on his list of criteria was that the woman had to be independent. He said this out of his own mouth, people. So if you want to know how Ciara got Russell Wilson, she's been telling you this the entire time. Cultivate yourself first. Work on yourself first. Have something going for yourself so that the man can see something valuable in you. And you refuse to hear her. So I just want to know, are you guys going to hear Russell? Because that's what you say you want. You say you want a man like what Ciara has. Well, if you want a man like what Ciara has, then you must do the things that Ciara has done to get that type of man. And this is the type of man that you want. This is what he's saying that he wanted in a woman. Essentially, like that Jamie Foxx song said, I love her because she got her own. She don't need mine. She said, leave mine alone. There ain't nothing that's more sexy than a woman that won't but don't need me. He said that in his song. Being independent is not a bad thing. Celebrating your independence isn't a bad thing. And any man that doesn't see the value in you because you love yourself enough to cultivate yourself and be able to take care of yourself, that's somebody that you want to avoid in the first place. But it's really, really plain and simple to me. Some of you didn't really want to hear what Ciara had to say because that implied that you would have to do some work. And some of you just don't want to put in that work. And some of you need some help. Some of y'all really need some financial help. Some of you have children and deadbeat baby daddies. And you saw how Ciara was a baby mama for a little under a year and got with Russell, and he became super stepdad. And you began to dream about somebody stepping in and helping you like that. But you don't want to put in the work. See, all y'all want, some of you, all some of you want is the help, the title, and the good man. But you do not want to help yourself. That's the bottom line. Some of you would love for Prince Charming to come in riding on his white horse and save you from them bills. Let's just be honest. Let's tell the truth. Shame the devil. Some of you want Prince Charming to ride in on his white horse and put a veil over you that makes you a decent woman in your own mind. You want him to make you feel validated. And what Ciara has said consistently is that you need to already be feeling that way about yourself, and you need to already be doing these things for yourself. Like I said earlier, Ciara was not down on her luck when she got with Russell Wilson. She was sitting there dusting off her 2 platinum albums that put millions in her bank account before she met Russell. She had accomplishments under her belt. And that is sexy to a man like Russell Wilson. The cynical one says, to those women who think are really influenced by Ciara's statement, she won't trade the married life for singlehood. Wait a minute, I can't understand. Okay, to those women who think are really influenced by Ciara's statement, she won't trade the married life for singlehood. I don't think any woman gets married to be single? Who gets married to be single? I mean, that statement in and of itself, unless I'm misreading it or misunderstanding it, it doesn't make sense to me. When I married my husband, I didn't get married to be single, and I did not foresee being a widow. So I don't get it. Of course, she's not going to look back. Ciara went through a journey. 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 And during that journey, she was single first with a child. She cultivated herself first. She had many wins under her belt. Why do you think when she hit those 2 platinum albums, why do you think all those rappers in the music industry were going after her? Because they saw that she was a woman that was about her business. That's why. Why you think Little Bow Wow was all over her? And he got butt hurt when she stopped dealing with him and spread that rumor about her being a hermaphrodite. Because Cece had it going on even when she was by herself. And some of you ain't got it going on. Let's just be honest. Some of you do not have it going on as single women, and you just want the result, but you don't want to put in the work. You want somebody to step in and give you this title so that you can say, I was married now, I'm not single. And you want the best of the best. You want a Russell Wilson. Somebody that you think is going to sit you down so you can rest in your femininity. And you should already be resting in your femininity. This man should meet you already as a whole woman, ready to provide love. If you don't love yourself, how can you give that man love? If you don't love yourself, how can you give your children love? If you have nothing for yourself, if you have no value for you before you're with anyone. But y'all don't want to hear that. Only thing you want to hear is, I just want the result. I don't care how she got there, just the result. I think I heard someone else say, I don't know the lady's name, but I was watching one of her videos and I heard her say that what's that girl's name that dated the guy that played Killmonger? I'm so bad with these people's names. Steve Harvey's stepdaughter. What is that girl's name? I can't think of her name for nothing. But she was dating the guy that played Killmonger. But at any rate, she lost a hell of a lot of weight. She got down to like nothing. Lori Harvey, that's who I'm talking about. Lori Harvey. Lori Harvey had, gained a few pounds. She was getting kind of pudgy. And then next thing you saw her, she was big as a twig. And everybody wanted to know how she lost all that weight. And she told you. She said, hey, I dieted. I worked out, on 3 or 4 times a week. I ate this, I ate that. She told you. And when she told you how she lost all that weight, you all drug her for the filth. Oh, you ain't doing it right. You don't look healthy. You too skinny anyway. Skinny bitch. Oh, you skinny bitch. Because like I said, when women try to tell other women and give other women advice on how they got a result that other women want, you guys are not interested in the result. I'm sorry, you guys are not interested in the journey. You're only interested in the result. If someone tries to tell you this is the journey that I took to get here, if it involves any type of work at all, you're not going to want to listen. You're not going to want to do it. You're going to go, la, 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 you know. You don't want to hear it. But then you want to sit here and make other people that got nothing to do with your situation, responsible for your current situation. And that is the height of immaturity. Some of you have arrested development. Some of you are not mature. Because taking accountability, that is a sign of maturity. But you don't want to be accountable for yourself. You want people to make you feel good about your current situation. Give you passes. You want to be graded on the curve. Oh no, don't give me the slow way of doing it. There's got to be some kind of shortcut. Give me the shortcut. Ciara, I know you worked on yourself and you was independent and all that, and you had it going on for yourself before Russell came, but we don't want to hear that. Give me the shortcut to how we can get a Russell. And Ciara cannot tell you about no shortcut. Exactly, cynical one. Slow and steady wins the race. She can tell you how she got there slowly and steadily. And that is the reason why she said this is for the ladies on a journey like me. I don't know if she said journey, but on a mission like me. That was her letter to herself. And that was how she affirmed herself. Ciara is affirming you guys now. She's trying to get you on the same mission that she was on. And you are dragging her. She's being dragged for it. But once again, if you won't listen to me, if you won't listen to Ciara, listen to it from the mouth of the man that you guys fantasize about.
The reality is, hold on one second. The reality is that, sorry, I'm just texting her. The reality is that for me, for the 5 non-negotiables was more what I had to write down. I had to write down what those were. I had to have a clear vision of what that was. And so for my 5 non-negotiables, the first one is I wanted a woman of faith. That's the number one thing I wanted.
And that was important to her.
I wanted a woman of faith. The second thing is I wanted a woman who was faithful. The third thing I wanted is ultimately I wanted an independent woman. Okay. I wanted a person that didn't have to be Ciara. They could be doing whatever, but they had their own identity, they had their own perspective on what they wanted to do in life and how they wanted to impact people. And that was something that I noticed from the first time we met and how she spoke about others. The fourth thing was I wanted a woman who was going to love me the way that my mom loved my dad when he was on his deathbed, and how my mom took care of my dad no matter what the circumstances were, no matter how hard it got. You know, our family, to be honest, we went bankrupt at one point, and just it was hard. It was heavy. It was heavy times, and you have to be able to, my dad always knew that we were going to be good. That we were going to be good. My brother, myself, and my sister, that we were going to be okay because my mom was helping lead the way, and she had a great perspective. And the fifth thing was ultimately I wanted a woman who was going to tilt the room. Right? When you walk in the room, if she walks in the room, the whole furniture just slides to her.
Okay.
And so those are 5 things. My 5 non-negotiables were one woman of faith. The second thing was one woman who's faithful. The third thing was one who was independent. Fourth thing was I wanted a woman who, who loved me the way that my mom loved my dad. And the fifth thing was, ultimately, is I wanted a woman who would tilt the room.
Tilt the
And
room.
I wasn't going to settle for 3 out of 5 or 4 out of 5. We were going to go 5 for 5, and that was it.
And you got it.
And we got 5 for 5 plus some more.
You got it.
Yeah,
You
so
got it.
that was really what we were.
Are you crying?
Yes, I am. Sorry.
Mm-hmm. So you heard it from the horse's mouth. Third thing I wanted was a woman that was independent. Russell Wilson said that out of his own mouth. That's why he got with Ciara. And he said it again on another occasion.
You didn't need me. You may have wanted me, but you didn't need me. You didn't need me.
Mm.
That was sexy to me.
Mm.
You didn't need me. You may have wanted me, but you didn't need me. You didn't need me.
Mm.
That was sexy to me.
Mm.
That was sexy to him. So now, ladies, you got your answer. You got your answer. Russell Wilson thinks independent women are sexy. And there's a lot of men like him that think that way. The only men that really want a woman to be dependent on him are men that, quite honestly, those are the type of men that want to control. I'm gonna be honest with you. And they are not leaders, by the way. They have a very short-sighted way of thinking. But men that have no problem with your independence, they tend not to have this short-sighted way of thinking. And they tend not to be intimidated by you. And they tend not to want to compete with you. And that to me is sexy. Confident men like confident women. And money attracts money. Don't believe me? Just look at the income brackets of the women who are with wealthy men. So all this princess stories, rags to riches, pretty women fantasies, Disneyland fairy tales that some of you got floating around in your head, you can just forget it. If you want a man like Russell, you're going to have something going for yourself far beyond your box, far beyond your looks. And another thing that I noticed is that he said that he wanted a woman who was faithful. He wanted, number one, a woman of faith, and he also wanted a woman who was faithful. And then third on his list, a woman who is independent. Straight from the horse's mouth. That's what he was looking for. So now I'm not going to stay on here long, but I do want to recognize the people that came in. Demetrius Hagashikata stuck his head in earlier. BMT, Business Minded Talk. Miss Queen Sunkissed. The Cynical One. Can't Hide. Ah, hey, sis. I love me some Can't Hide. She's one of my day one people. And Goldie Jones channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate each and every one of you. Yeah, definitely catch the replay, Can't Hide, because like I said, if I, a woman, tell you these things, or if any other woman tells you these things, it's going to fall on deaf ears. Oh, thank you so much. Goldie Jones channel shared the screen. Please like the stream, by the way. If any of you are in here, please like the stream. Put the stream on top. If you're listening on the replay, please hit the like button, even if you're listening on the replay, because that keeps me on top. And don't forget to show some love to the channel. There's a super thanks. They have that icon is always available, even if the video is not playing. You can send a super thanks, or you can send a cash app to $Lady in the Truck. But with that, I just want to go ahead and say that I love each and every one of you. And I want to give all the people that I just mentioned and called out a round of applause for being here. Because when you come and you chat, audience participation, the like button, sharing, all of that helps boost this channel up. I want to eventually get to the top tier. So I'm going to continue to try to bring you great commentary and, also, better quality of videos. So please like the video, share the video. And with that, I want to say peace. Love each and every one of you. And I am out. Holla.